California's Governor Gavin Newsom is involved in another scandal, and this one might just beat out the one where he slept with his campaign manager's wife. We're going to cover that in detail later. Also, President Trump is accusing Democrats of scamming people out of millions of dollars, money that should have gone to struggling Americans. There's a lot to cover today, but real quick, if you want to be part of a community that values the truth above all else, then become a civic patriot by subscribing today.
I want to make it clear that everything you've heard and read is true, and I am deeply sorry about that. I've hurt someone I care deeply about, Alex Turk, his friends and family, and that is something that I have to live with and something that I am deeply sorry for.
Gavin Newsom isn't new to scandals. The clip you watched came from 10 years ago where he admitted to sleeping with his former campaign manager's wife. But that might be the second most embarrassing scandal for him right now. Just recently it's been found out that the Fire Aid benefit concerts did not benefit those affected by the California wildfires. Instead, it looks like the money has gone to people who don't even deserve it.
You know, thousands of people open their wallets, right, to help people in need. So we asked Fire Aid 6 months later, how much in services, product, or cash went to the fire victims, and how many fire victims did you help? Well, it declined to answer that and other questions we had about where the money went.
They kept talking about providing money to those who need it, but even Fire Aid admitted that they weren't capable of sending this money to those affected by the wildfires, which is crazy given that they raised around $100 million.
I think they'd be very disappointed.
David Howard lost 2 homes in the Palisades.
I have not seen any benefit from the Fire Aid money, and I'm very involved, nor have my friends and neighbors.
Go to the website and give what you can. All the money that's raised will go directly to people who need help in the short term and for the long term effort to get this city back on its feet.
So what do we know? Well, $75 million of that aid money went to 188 nonprofit organizations, and this is where things become blurred. Not every NGO that was given money is responding to questions on where they've spent it. Reports also show that $6.5 million was spent on LA County government programs. As far as I know, there's no information on what those programs are or if they provided any help to those affected by the wildfires. And I don't think anyone's saying that this is fraud. The question is, where is the money? If they made all of these promises to help victims, why aren't those victims getting anything? This same idea of questioning came from President Trump as he called Fire Aid as another Democrat-inspired scam. He also says that the money is missing and called Gavin as new scum for refusing to release billions of gallons of water from Northern California when the fires happened. Fire Aid spokesman Chris Wallace responded to the criticism that they've received. Here's what he had to say. We understand and respect the concerns of the Palisades community. The Fire Aid grant-making process was extensive and community-informed. It involved local outreach, feedback from those directly affected, and collaboration with nonprofit organizations embedded in fire-impacted neighborhoods. Grant recommendations were developed by an experienced operations team, reviewed by an independent advisory committee with deep familiarity across the region, including site visits and conversations with fire victims, and ultimately approved by the Fire Aid Board. I have to note that Wallace did admit that they didn't plan on providing direct payments to anyone who may have been involved in the wildfires. The plan was to give that money to these nonprofits. Again, this doesn't really clarify the situation for the people that need help, and like I said, this is a huge scandal as it looks like they took advantage of many people, using the wildfires as an emotional tool to get people to open their wallets. But what are your thoughts on this? Was this just a scam to take money from kind people? Make sure to sound off down in the comments. Also, help this small channel become bigger by becoming a civic patriot today and subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you for your time. I'll talk to you in the next one.